Is Sephora brand better than drugstore makeup? Hi, I'm Laura Ray, and today we're going to do a deep dive. A deep dive into the Sephora brand. Now, I've tried their makeup for years, here and there, little bits, but I went out and purchased over the past few months tons of their products, almost everything they make. And I've been trying it out. Now, the one thing I'm not trying today is their foundation. And I liked it. It did knock my socks off. But I'm going to buy it again because I think part of that was I just purchased the wrong shade. I didn't get a shade that was right for me. So I'm going to go into the store and try to find a better match. But it wasn't that I hated it, but it wasn't my top foundation. But I do have some amazing products to share with you today. This side of my face is all Sephora brand, and this side is drugstore. I thought this would be great to compare the two because many times the prices are close. Sometimes Sephora beats the drugstore. They recently had 30% off their products. So some of these things I bought for $5 or $6. They were so reasonable, yet they work like high end. They work amazingly. So I thought we'd go through them together and talk about my experience with them. Let's start with brow pencils. I actually bought two. They have one that is called their Brow Shaper Pencil that I'm not using today in the video. I decided to use this one that's a little larger, and it's their Insta Brow Wax Brow Pencil. Now, what I loved about this over one of my favorites from the drugstore is that it has a spoolie and that it has wax in it. So I felt like my brows stayed up better with this. It's got the brow wax mixed with the pencil. So I really liked it. It was on sale for such an affordable price. I think I paid $6. So super reasonable. Now at the drugstore, one that really stands out to me is the one from Maybelline, their Express Brow. Now I wanted to say the shade I'm using today isn't my favorite shade. I usually use a blonde, but I'm out of that. I used it up. This shade is actually soft brown. Now, what I love about this pencil is you do have this slant, and it makes it really easy to use. And on this side, this is the magical side. This is a powder. So not only can you fill in your brows, but I use it as eyeliner. If you want to do a smoky eye, this pencil is incredible. It's a lot like one Charlotte Tilbury makes, where she has sort of a powder liner. So this one is incredible. So it's really hard for me to pick between the two because they're very different products. But I think for this one, both of them have so much to offer. Let's talk about one of my favorite products, and that's eyeshadow. I love cream shadows. I've tried some stinkers, though, where they get in my lines, the crepiness in the eyes, and don't work well. But I have some to share that are amazing and so affordable. So I decided to use the Sephora Charged Up. This says a long-wear liquid eyeshadow. I agree with this. It's beautiful. Look how gorgeous it looks on the eyes. This could rival my Charlotte Tilbury shadow. It looks beautiful. It doesn't get in the fine lines. And what I do is just put some on the lid and then blend it out with an eyeshadow brush. That's the best way I've found to go about it. You don't want it to be too thick on the eyes, so that sort of blows it out and thins it out. So that's amazing. Now on the other eye, I don't know if you'd call it drugstore, but it's drugstore price, is the Ulta Beauty brand. This is their long wear cream metallic eyeshadow, and it's in the shade Chill Cool and beautiful. This is another great product. I would rate these close to even. I think I like the Sephora one a little better. I also like the packaging better. It looks so much more luxe than the Ulta Beauty, but this is a great product. Not only does it come in shimmer, it comes in matte. Now, I don't feel like I know I don't need a primer with these, so you save on using a primer. Earlier this year from Neutrogena, I had their eyeshadow in primer. I feel like this is very gimmicky after using it because These shadows don't need a primer, and they don't say they're a primer. These eyeshadows are great. You can blend them with powders too. So you could put this on your lid and then use a powder in the crease if you wanted to. So when I'm looking at these, the Neutrogena actually has more product in it, even though it looks so small. This one's 0.22 ounces and this is 0.16. I like both of these, so the price would really determine what I would buy. But I like that the Sephora brand, across the brand, with all the products, has some very unique shades that I can't find at the drugstore. So that's another big bonus in the Sephora brand. I also wanted to add that another group of products that I like from the drugstore were these NYX Glow Shots. These came in beautiful shades. I love this shade. It's called High Key Lychee, but these were beautiful too. So for me, it is all about price. If I see something on sale that I think is a great price, then that's what I'll pick up. But all of these are pretty comparable. Now we're going to get into one of my favorite products from the Sephora brand, and it's their eye pencils. I bought this one to start. It's their colorful shadow stick and liner. I do use this as liner some days and don't put color all over the lid. These are gorgeous. Today, I decided to go into the crease. Now, they do come in shades that aren't metallic. I also bought this one called Colorful Crayon, and it's waterproof in a shimmer. And look at this shade. Beautiful. These are so intense, they do not come off until you take them off. They are waterproof. I've put them on, gone in the shower, and they're still on my hands. So these work great. This is the shade that I put on my eyes today. And look at how beautiful that is. I'm in love with these. These are so easy to work with. I put them on the eye and I do go over them with an eyeshadow brush just to make sure I've covered everything because I have little crinkles in my eyes and I want to make sure the eyeshadow gets into all of the areas I'm trying for. So I just love these. I think they're wonderful. They're a great bargain. Again, when they run sales, sometimes they're $5 or $6. So they're super affordable. Again, these are just super affordable liners. Now, I would say the e.l.f. is a great one at the drugstore, except the packaging. I've had trouble with the eye crayon actually coming out of the stick. I don't feel like these e.l.f. crayons, which are very affordable, they're around $5, are as sturdy as the ones from Sephora. I definitely like the Sephora better. So this is a case where Sephora beats the drugstore. I want to share with you a little stinker that I had with eyeliner. I bought this one from Essence. It's the Stay and Play Gel Eyeliner. They say it's waterproof and long-lasting. It was not waterproof. I had it all under my eyes. I went to the restroom around lunchtime at school, and I looked, and I had blue way under here. And I thought maybe I did something wrong. So I tried it a couple more days, and it was just very embarrassing. It was all over the place. So unfortunately, even though I love Essence, this did not work for me. But the Sephora brand, out of sight. This is their Ultimate Gel Eyeliner. Look at these. They have the look of the ones from Clinique, I think. They look really nice. They're retractable, so you can just twist at the bottom. And what beautiful shades. I bought the navy, which I'm using today in the video. I also bought one in plum shimmer, and I love plum. Let me show you how this looks on my hands. Look at what a beautiful shade that is, that plum. Gorgeous. Plum looks great for really any eye color. I think it's amazing. And so if I'm going to go with something comparable, I'm going to look to L'Oreal, because this from L'Oreal is a great liner. It's their infallible 24-hour liner. And the shade I bought was turquoise, so they don't match. This isn't a navy like the other eye, but I went ahead and put a blue on so you could see it. Now, what I noticed putting these on, the Sephora dried down a little faster and wasn't as smudgy. The L'Oreal, I was really getting a smoky look out of it. It stayed a little more moisturized for longer. So it depends what you like. I have also a green one, and it's beautiful. One I didn't mention I bought from Sephora too was this Shimmer Espresso. I love the shades at Sephora. They had some that are very difficult to find at the drugstore. So if you're getting bored with some of the shades that the drugstore offers, I really suggest you check out the Sephora brand because these remind me a lot of well, they look a lot from the packaging like Clinique to me, but I would say the shades remind me of Urban Decay. Urban Decay 24/7, you have to give them credit. They have tons of eyeliner shades, some that are so unique, but the pencils are pretty pricey. So I'm going to say this time I'm going to go with the Sephora for the win because it really is a beautiful line. I love the shades and I love the way they last on the eyes. I haven't used any mascara from Sephora, so I just wanted to mention that today I used the Ulta Beauty Lash Flash. It's a wash-off mascara. It's a tubing mascara. I do like it. It does great as far as no flaking, no mess, and when you go to wash it off, the little tubes just come off. Let's talk about a palette. They don't have many palettes anymore at the drugstore. I wish they did. This is beautiful from Sephora. You have blush, you have a bronzer, you have a highlighter all in one. I love these. If you're traveling, you could just bring one thing like this and you don't have to bring a bunch of separate makeup. Some people have compared this to like Hourglass powders. Now I have the Hourglass. I don't know that they're so much alike, but they are beautiful. I don't feel disappointed in any of them. I think they work nice, and I love these baked kind of products. The only thing I could think of at the drugstore that was pretty similar is the Milani blush, and I know many of you own this. It's been around so long. This one's Luminoso, but it's the same kind of baked product. But boy, was this at such a great price. And I love that I have everything right here. Even though I love Milani and I pretty much have every blush that they've made, I have to give it to Sephora because this palette is great and it's an all-in-one. Now, I don't think I put any highlighter on, so let me put a little of that on for you just so you can see. But I think it's beautiful. Look at that. Nice highlighter. We'll go ahead and put it on the other side since I don't have a drugstore highlighter with me. But I think this is beautiful and what a great value. Now we're going to talk about my favorite subject, lipstick. I am obsessed with lipstick. I love it and I have some great ones to share with you. First off, this is the cream lip stain that Sephora makes. And I bought this several years ago. And I remember when I first tried it, it was so unique compared with anything at the drugstore I had tried because it felt like mousse on the lips. The scent is beautiful. It's very light and it's vanilla. It smells almost like you're eating frosting. And it looks gorgeous on the lips. And they have so many shades of these you would not believe. I can't even think of anything I've tried from the drugstore that's like it. So I had nothing to compare. But if you haven't tried this, this is one that I think is a must. It looks beautiful on the lips. And again, it is a stain, so it's going to leave some color behind. And I just think it's a great product. I spoke with one of the ladies that works at Sephora, and we were talking about the Sephora brand. And I said, what do most of the ladies like that come in here for Sephora? And what's one of your better selling products? And she said, oh, these lipsticks. She actually was wearing one at the moment we started talking. And that's what sold me. It looked so beautiful on her lips. It reminded me a lot of the Revlon lip butters. I used to love those lipsticks. I even have bought some off Amazon because I missed them so much. Now, I don't normally buy red for myself much, but this was so lightweight, I thought, hey, that might work. And my husband loved it. He is a big fan of red. That's why I try to wear it because he likes it so much. But this, I think, is just glides on the lips. It's so thin. If you don't like anything heavy on your lips, I think you would really enjoy it. It's very moisturizing. And then I went sort of for the opposite thing. I went for more of a peachy nude kind of shade, and I thought this was beautiful too, very different from the red. But I love this formula. The packaging is beautiful. It's lightweight, it's plastic, but it has a very luxe look to it. Let's talk about some lip gloss. Now, the lip gloss I'm going to show you now is a plumper kind of gloss that does have a minty feel. But look at how beautiful this is. I put this on top of lipsticks. I put it on top of the red here so you can see how it would look on top of a lipstick. But I love wearing this by itself too. It does have a little heat from the peppermint, but not obnoxious. It doesn't bother me at all. And look at how luxe this packaging is. So I actually went back and bought another one. This is in the shade 10, and it says Outrageous Plump Effect. That's the name of it. And they just have numbers on the products. But these look beautiful on the lips. Again, the packaging, I think, is pretty spectacular. Now, I'm comparing those lip glosses from Sephora to the Milani Keep It Full. This is one I've repurchased over and over in every shade. The shade I'm showing you today is number 2, Nude Shimmer. Now, I actually wore this on my lips in another video that didn't have anything to do with the lipstick, and someone said, "What were you wearing?" Because it is beautiful. I bought it as a topper, but I ended up liking it alone, which sort of surprised me. But this is beautiful. I would rate both of these pretty much the same. I can't really pick a winner. I love the packaging much better from Sephora. I think this packaging is more attractive than the Milani one. That's just my personal opinion. I like how they put the shade on the tip of it. I just think it's really, it has a better feel to it, more of a luxe feel, a little more weighted. But this is an amazing product, and you can find shades in this that you won't find in the Sephora brand. Another product that the salesperson at Sephora said women love are the liners. The liners are beautiful, and they have some very modern shades. I bought this one that's called Nothing But Nude, another big seller dressed to the 90s. And I asked her which were her best-selling shades, and these were a couple of them. Now, what I love about these is they are retractable, so they screw up from the bottom. You don't need to sharpen them. I love that. I hate having to have a sharpener. These glide on the lips. They're beautiful, and I love the shades. They have some shades that I don't always see at the drugstore, so that's something that draws me to the Sephora brand is new shades, some exciting colors that I haven't tried before at the drugstore. Now, from the drugstore, one that I think is amazing is from Revlon. This is their Color Stay, and I'm wearing the shade Mauve today. You cannot complain about these. They are beautiful. They're also retractable. These, again, are very affordable, but so are the Sephora. So this is another one where I'm going to sort of give it about the same rating. I do like the packaging in the Sephora. I think it looks more modern. It's more sleek. It looks more like something that would be a luxe product. So I have to give the packaging to Sephora, but all of these are excellent products. On to our classic bullet lipsticks. Let's start with the Sephora brand. This is so cool, this packaging. I love it. When I first got it, I thought, which end is up here? But it says here Sephora, and they have all the shades on the end. So this is number 3. And these remind me of shades like you would see in Charlotte Tilbury. They're just beautiful. Again, I think Sephora is really marketing to what's current in the bigger brands, the shades, and they're nailing it. They're doing a great job of it. This glides on the lips and is beautiful. I also bought number 4, and this is another one that I think is gorgeous. These shades are sort of my jam. These are the type of shades I like to wear to work. They're very close to my natural lip shade. And so as they wear off, it's not as noticeable. So I'm really happy with that purchase. Now, from the drugstore, I have to say Revlon is one of my top lipsticks. They talk about shades. What a variety of shades Revlon has. I love how they're organized with reds, with berries, with nudes. I just love the brand, and I think the packaging is very luxe. Now, the shade I wore today is a new shade. It's 755. Well, it's not that new. This has been out a while, Bare It All. But this is a shade that's really popular. And again, if you look, these are really close, the shades, and they're all gorgeous. If you're looking for something like this and you don't have it in your collection, then I think you won't be disappointed in any of these. If I had to say which packaging I preferred, the Sephora or the Revlon, that's a tough one. It's pretty close, but I think I might go with the Sephora. I like the sleekness of this, but then again, the Revlon is just very classic. Concealers can be so tricky. They're hard to get right. I've struggled with them too. And I recently did a video about concealers that I hate because I wanted to share with you my feedback and hopefully save you some dollars because I've tried out so many of them. But I wanted to try the Sephora. Now, they offer a couple of different concealers. One that I love, I actually bought 2 shades of, is their Bright Future. This is a gel serum. It is very thin. It performs beautifully. You feel like there's skincare because it just blends out so easily. Now, from the drugstore, I love this True Match. This is such a beautiful concealer. It's their eye cream concealer. It has hyaluronic acid in it. It's very thin. It blends out. It doesn't get in my creases. Now, one tip that I would give you, what I would do is when you're blending, just hold your eye down a little bit because I know I have creases in here, and I think that's pretty typical of women my age. And if you're just going across like this, you don't always get into those tiny, tiny creases. So what I do is hold the eye down a little bit so it's really smooth, and then go right underneath with the brush like that and just blend it out. And that helps to get that little extra that's there out of that crease. But this works beautifully, and so does this one. I wanted to give mention to this, their Best Skin Ever Concealer. This is a little heavier than what I put on in the video, the gel concealer. So it's a little more coverage. So if you're looking for something a little bit heavier, I like this for other areas of my face. So if I want to cover something, say like around my nose, wow. It's not super heavy either. I wanted to say that, but it is thicker than the other. So this is actually a little bright, but let's blend it. But it does cover beautifully. I really like this a lot. So this is another affordable concealer, and if you're looking for covering like dark spots on the face, then I think I would go with this one from Sephora. If you're looking for like under eyes, then I think this one is great, but you can't go wrong with these. These are fantastic concealers. Now, it's hard for me to choose. I would rate these about the same. This one from L'Oreal is phenomenal. I really like it. It's one of my favorite drugstore concealers that have come out. Especially in recent years, I think I like this more than most of them. This is close to my Winky Lux. I've talked a lot about the Winky Lux, which runs more than the L'Oreal does. That's another great one. But I love all of these. I just don't see any faults with any of them. I didn't show these in the video because I wanted to do the eye crayons and the eye cream because they are my favorite. But if you're more traditional and you love powder eyeshadow, Sephora has the individual eyeshadows, and these are gorgeous. I've bought 3 shades so far. I bought this one that's called Soft Suede, and these are very iridescent. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love that shade. Now, the next one I bought, this is called Twinkle Twinkle, and I had read online about this. Somebody was raving about it, And so I thought, I'm going to try that. And this has got a lot of sparkle to it. So if you're not a fan of sparkle, you won't like it. But I think this is just gorgeous. The last one I bought is called Semi-Sweet Chocolate. I had such a hard time, this is it right here, determining what to buy it when I was there at Sephora, because every shade I would swatch, I would go, that's beautiful, because they were all gorgeous. So those are great, but I wanted to give credit to the drugstore, to Essence, because they recently came out with these soft touch eyeshadows, and they are beautiful too. Look at that color there, and I'll swatch it. Excuse my Band-Aid. I had a burn on my hand and had a little accident. So right there, look at that. How gorgeous is that? And then I bought green because I wanted something a little bit different, not the traditional, tans or beiges and other things. Look at that pigment on that. Beautiful. I love these so much. So these are super affordable. They remind me a lot of the Sephora brand. So that's an alternative. I would rate them about the same. Again, I'm just in love with both of them. So is the Sephora brand, do they beat the drugstore? I think often they do. They really have an incredible line of products. I'm so happy with everything that I purchased. I've been wearing it and enjoying it. What really stands out to me, the lipsticks, the lip liners, the eye crayons, the eyeliner, those are the ones that really stood out to me as amazing. I've been so happy with them. I'm looking forward to trying more as Sephora develops their brand, but I think it's great. Let me know in the comments, have you tried anything from Sephora, and how did you feel about it? Did you think it could beat the drugstore, or at least was as good as drugstore makeup? And I just want to let you know that all of the products are in the description of the video with the links. And thank you for shopping those links and supporting my channel. I want to thank all of you as we're starting to come to the conclusion of this year, for your support this year, for your love, your kindness. I just can't thank you enough. I love you all so much. I hope you have a blessed week and a blessed holiday season, and I'll see you soon.